And now moving onward and forward, I would like to introduce you all Sylvain Cormier, Technical Lead at the Kylin Network. Sylvain, welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Hi, my name is Sylvain. I work with Kylin Network. I started working with them about 6 months ago with the mandate to build a blockchain oracle. So you want to decentralize data. It's, where's the clicker? It's not that much that easy. This is an oracle, and these are the parachains. Nice little thing that I did there. So problems with DeData. Lack of visibility. This is probably stuff that all of you know already, but I'm setting the stage here for what's coming next. So too much information, basically. So standards. Everybody's building silos, working in their own little corner. Nobody's making sure that the data can talk to each other. So we've done some efforts lately. There's a decentralized Oracle alliance that's been created. We're building on the shoulders of giants, basically, because we're building on Polkadot, but most of the work for decentralized data has been done on Ethereum. And we're lucky to not to have to start from scratch, because there's a lot of mistakes that can be made. And yeah, we're really lucky with that. So lack of standardization, we're working on that, but it's still a huge problem. Incomplete data. So this all has to do with networking. You know, sometimes the data, you have to make sure that it's there and that it's treatable. Inconsistent data, so make sure that when it's decentralized, that if one of the nodes goes down, you know, you have a way to spawn it back up, or that you have a way to get the information from another node. So let's see here. Dispute resolution. Okay, so this is a topic that's really dear to me. This is what we're working on most. It's usually very lengthy, and sometimes just formulating the question is a problem. Okay, so referendums, we've known that. I come from Quebec, and over there we had just formulating the question, do we become independent or not? It seems very easy, but there was a big debate on how the question should be formalized. So it's a big deal. So it's a tedious process. You need to have a hyper-efficient community and a software system hybrid to preserve the authenticity, the semantics, and the binary equivalency of the data. Now, there's many ways to do this. One of the ways that's been there forever is the algorithmic way, making circular buffers to get the mean out of the data, or any other algorithms. There's a lot of work that's been done in this direction using machine learning, for example. We're looking at an algorithm called select storage, which is very interesting. But this is only one part. It can't all be solved by this. There's going to be dispute resolutions no matter how you set up your buffers. Now, the community, how we're going to use it for our product is that every instance in the Oracle system, every entity created, could it be a feed, could it be a reporter, or any of these entities, must register with a democratic process. So a DAO. Now, having an efficient community is important, because this is really a lot of friction, you know. So this data, we need it as fast as possible, but it's not the case. So we need a more rapid polling system. So actually having a vote before you can actually make a proposal, you know, for dispute resolution can actually speed up things. And I was thinking maybe GPT-3 very soon too, to reformulate the question into a way that everybody can understand and agree with. Now, another way to do this also is kind of gamify the thing. You know, if people have a reason to participate and devote their time to a DAO, well, maybe if they have something they want to change in their environment, and something that is dear to them, that could be a motivation. Now, we thought about putting this on the market. So we're going to create feeds and put this up on the market and allow people to bootstrap their concerns or their feeds. So it creates a microeconomy. We are tagging these feeds or different entities with an NFT. And this is not your normal NFT, it's a dynamic NFT. So the data changes constantly. It's actually an NFT that's worth something. So smart storage is one big thing that we all have to do in this DeData adventure. Having a storage with IPFS to make sure that everybody has access to data that is persistent. But having data is not just the thing that you have to do. I mean, putting the hash on chain, who can tell if it's pertinent data, useful data? So, so this is why we have to have a way to actually make this data useful. And minting as an NFT takes care of the authorization. The data as the metadata of this NFT on an NTFS partition shared by all off-chain nodes, off-chain workers, is the solution that we're looking at. Now, this brings me to talk about the Polkadot architecture, which is very interesting to provide this, is that we have a parachain system. And all of these parachains have these off-chain workers so that they can sustain this IPFS partition. And they can actually leverage some machine power that can't be run in the runtime. So, of course, in this NFT, to promote kind of even more, NFTs can have SFT inside of them. So it's a semi-fungible token, where it's just one of the parameters in the metadata, which is just shares or token of that NFT. So you can actually have someone buy in the NFT because he believes in something, and have other people feeding that NFT or working on that NFT, on that feed, just to make it, make sure that it's sustainable, that it keeps on living, and that it's truthful. But you need to pay these people. So this is how you could do it with an NFT. So Justice, you'll see another presentation by Kleros today. I hope you're going to come and see it, because they've actually cornered this topic. They're on Ethereum, and we're actually going to exploit a lot of the concepts that they have. So we suggest making the voting system even more powerful than it is right now. So an augmented voting system, which can determine if a vote is not valid or not, or subject to lazy equilibrium. So this is why when a bunch of people are voting on something, but not everybody votes with the good of the whole system. They have their own personal concerns, might it be financial or political, but they skew the vote. So we've developed a way to actually be able to detect that. There's quadratic voting for staking. Vitalik Buterin has a whole paper on this. Putting all of these extra solutions into the voting system is going to really help the situation. So streamlining the processes, of course, is something that is going to be very important. So streamlining the UI ergonomics is a big thing also here. Like Mindogas was saying, having many, not Mindogas, but Bruce, was it? Clicking many times with the MetaMask is just not convincing. So implication to boost, I think I talked about this, having an NFT with a financial economy under it for dev work, for token curated test grids, voting incentive. So token curated test grids are having people to get paid to do research, and somebody is there as a curator to select the proper, the best information and all of that. And there's a good way to balance out to get the people to actually do the best job that they can at delivering the best data. So we're talking about human oracles here. It works. I mean, Amazon has a MTurk product right now, which actually works. So we could use the same type of thing. So like I said, this has a live component to it, these NFTs, because it's being updated constantly. The best example of this is a container ship, and this container ship has geolocation, and if it arrives on time, it has so much money at the end of it, it's actually worth something. So the NFT's metadata is being updated as it goes, and if there's a storm and it goes off the way, oh, it's not the same money value anymore. So this is just one example of what dynamic NFTs concept created by Chainlink, I believe, that we want to install. So accountability. We also want to include a whole chain of responsibility here, because in these dispute resolutions, if people have to go and get the information, it's just so costly and tedious. You know, it could be done better. So by having a service level agreement that's signed before with each block, you can ensure that everybody knows what the hell is going on. So you list all the APIs, all the reporters, everybody the algorithms that are used, everything that is involved in there. So that's all signed with every block. So when something goes wrong, all the information is there in the form of a Ricardian contract. And you can just have a better, more fluid process for this. So Oracle scenarios started out, for me, just an Oracle was something outside the blockchain. So fetch price outside the blockchain, that was like the first thing. Then it was an accurate price outside the blockchain. Then accurate decentralized price outside the blockchain. And then an accurate decentralized price outside the blockchain anonymously, you know. But what we're working on most is having an accurate decentralized price outside the blockchain that's anonymous and fast. Because with Polkadot, we have an advantage. We have a turnaround of 12 seconds, from 6 to 12 seconds for each feed. So that's a general architecture of it here. I'm not going to go into details, but you can see here, you know, oops, there's a democracy palette that takes care of creating the feeds, feeding it into an aggregator, and the result of the aggregator goes into a dynamic NFT metadata. What we're building right now as a prototype for this is a federated parachain oracle system. So as I mentioned, there's parachains all around, and we have a very special communication protocol called XCM, which is going to allow us to deliver feeds that are fast, accurate, and this is limited, of course, to the parachain ecosystem, but this is the first example so that we can take this beyond in probably Q1 of 2023, having this available to all kinds of APIs like Rapid API, API 3. You know, if you have your own custom API, you're going to be able to plug into this. So these are two different parachains here, Darwinia and Akala, both feeding in a price and receiving a price feed. So this is just yeah, I'm just going to go with this. Okay, so DAOs, I talked about DAOs as being a solution, but there's ways to attack a DAO also. First one is through social engineering. You can try to trick people. You know, the second is through technical attacks, vulnerabilities in the code to steal money or information. And the third is legal attacks. I hadn't thought of this one, but it's actually something that you can do. So DAO is not the perfect thing, but I think we have some systems, especially with the augmented voting that we're suggesting, that are going to take this and make this more efficient. This is the decentralized market offering diagram here. So proposal or question or a data feed creation is submitted to the community. There's an NFT that's pumped out here. and that's put on the market. Somebody buys it, and then the community members that believe in the cause are funding this NFT. And these people are paid. I call them gatherers or curators. And they go and get papers, research, media, reputation, and facts. And then they make a test. And people have to take the test before they vote. So it kind of solidifies the vote a bit. And there's an outcome. So the final words on this for me would be that DDMs and augmented democratic process could help turn surveillance capitalism into participation capitalism. NFTs offered by the DeData market are such that a real financial value can be attributed and dynamically be modified according to real-life results, rendering the appeal for data NFTs greater than speculative or empty NFTs, which are subject to greater fool theory. So which would you rather, a Bored Ape NFT or this NFT that has real money tied to it? So humans with a cause should be able to create a question, a topic, or Oracle system entity, then mint it as a token of their motivation. So that's kind of a pun. Humans with a, let's see. Once the entity has been created, its operations can be funded through the use of a fungible subtoken, which supporters can use to crowdfund or get paid for service to support their feed. So talk about Kylin a bit. So Kylin was a magical beast of China. They were a deer-like creature with the ability to look into a person's soul and unveil if they were truly pure of heart. So that's... I think that's an appropriate name. It's actually pronounced Kylin. And that's it. Thank you.
Excellent presentation, Sylvain. Now moving on to Q&A. And certainly that presentation left a lot to think about, and certainly a Swiss Army knife for a multitude of problems with very creative solutions. So yes, in the back.
I can't hear you, sorry.
Could you talk a little more about that diagram you had and why the person has to submit a test when they're submitting it?
Yeah, that's actually a fringe thing that's going to come into Q2 2003 that we're working on, but it's just to solidify the vote. Okay, it's called augmented democracy, and what happens is it just makes, instead of looking for the outcome of the vote, it looks for the commonalities between people in a vote. So if people have to take a test before, well, they all agree on so many questions. Even if it's just one question that they agree on, it's that much more than not knowing. So if you look at the result and you look at the outcome of the test, if they don't match, that vote is not very good. So you have to do it over again.
Who creates the test, just out of curiosity? Is it the person who creates the test?
The curators. So these are people that are hired. Actually, the Kilt protocol has, in Polkadot, has a very good system for doing this. It's an incentive program which forces people to deliver the best data, and they get money for it. And if they don't deliver the best, well, they're just taken out, and it's an economic incentive.
Cool.
Excellent. And anyone else? Sylvain, thank you very much.
Well.